Now, enough. This is ridiculous.
Leader Jeffries.
Yep.
Thank you, Leader. So you just said that Republicans are hurting their own constituents, and I understand that SNAP is a broad issue that affects millions, but in your home state alone, 3 million people are expected to lose their benefits next month. And you say you're ready to accept anything bipartisan out of the Senate. We have 3 Democrats who are voting for this right now.
You said, no, I said we're ready to consider anything that emerges in a bipartisan way in good faith from the Senate.
Thank you. Regardless, this is still a bipartisan effort right now to extend Biden's funding levels. If Democrats continue to not vote, reach the 60-vote filibuster, then does the party take this fallout responsibility?
No, and I disagree with the premise that we're extending Biden funding levels. That's a Republican talking point. This is not that complicated to understand. That in December of 2024, a bipartisan spending bill was enacted, overwhelmingly passed in the House and the Senate, signed into law by President Joe Biden. That was in December of 2024. Donald Trump supported that agreement after detonating the original bipartisan agreement. In March of 2025, a partisan Republican spending bill was enacted that lowered the spending levels, and in our view, as Democrats, which is why in the House we overwhelmingly opposed it, hurt veterans, hurt nutritional assistance, hurt housing affordability, and hurt health care. That's why we opposed it, because that March spending bill wasn't Biden-level spending, it was Trump partisan-level spending, which they further aggravated by engaging in impoundments and rescissions in violation of the law in the 6 months that followed that March spending bill, partisan Republican spending bill, being jammed down the throats of the American people. So, first of all, we've made clear we will not support a partisan Republican spending bill that continues to gut the health care of the American people. We've been saying that for 6 weeks. We have not moved off of our position. We're going to continue to defend the health care of working class Americans, middle class Americans, and everyday Americans.
Mr. Jeffries,
thanks.
Do you have anything positive to say about Mamdani, and do you recognize that your refusal to do so is splitting the Democratic Party?
I traveled throughout the country, and the Democratic Party is as unified as I've seen us throughout the entirety of this year, and you're about to experience that in real time. This won't be hypothetical. You're about to see it in real time in Virginia, in New Jersey, and in California as it relates to Prop 50. As I've said, I will have more to say about the mayor's race when I have more to say about the mayor's race in advance of early voting when I'm back home tomorrow.
What is the strategy behind waiting until the 11th hour to weigh in on the New York mayor's race?
This question has been asked and answered repeatedly. Thanks.
Virginia is now entering the redistricting arena. They're planning to redraw House maps. So what do you make of this ongoing redistricting battle that seems to be occurring between the United States and blue states?
We have made clear that Donald Trump is trying to rig the midterm elections by gerrymandering congressional maps all across the country, and Democrats are going to continue to respond immediately, forcefully, and consistently with our view that the American people in a midterm election deserve free and fair elections, not rigged elections. And that's what Donald Trump is trying to do. The question that has to be asked is if all of the bravado that we see from Donald Trump, from Mike Johnson, from House and Senate Republicans, if all of the bravado is true, why are they engaging in unprecedented efforts to gerrymander congressional maps as part of some toxic scheme to rig the midterm elections? Here's the answer. Because Mike Johnson knows the House is gone as it relates to Republicans. Gone. Because they have failed to deliver for the American people. They haven't made life better for everyday Americans. They've made life better for their billionaire donors. That's what the one big ugly bill was about. Inflation through the roof. Costs out of control. Trump tariffs costing the American people thousands of dollars more per year in expense. And now they're about to jack up premiums, copays, and deductibles on top of what they've already done to health care, which includes the largest cut to Medicaid in American history, a possible $536 billion cut to Medicare at the end of this year, hospitals and nursing homes and community-based health centers closing because of Republican policies throughout the country, vaccines no longer available in the manner that they should, kids having to be held out from school in places like South Carolina and beyond. This is a five-alarm fire in healthcare that Republicans have created. And that's why Republicans are gerrymandering congressional maps in places all across the country. But here's the thing. They did not expect Democrats to be able to forcefully respond. But the stakes are too high. And we are not going to unilaterally disarm, and we will not let Republicans mathematically change the congressional map so they can artificially hold on to power when the American people are ready to throw them out of office.
Leader Jeffries.
What actions are House Democrats, the Democratic leadership in general, taking to ensure SNAP benefits be paid in November? And are you confident that recipients will receive their benefits even if the government is still shut down?
The Trump administration has the resources now, including through an emergency contingency fund that has about $5 billion in it, to ensure that not a single American goes hungry if they refuse to reopen the government on November 1st. Not a single American should go hungry. And the challenge that we confront right now is that Donald Trump and Republicans on Capitol Hill are trying to weaponize hunger in order to jam their extreme right-wing policies in their spending bill down the throats of the American people. That's unacceptable. That's un-American. That's unconscionable. That Republicans are actually trying to weaponize hunger across the country. And here's the thing. This group of people, these extremists on the other side of the aisle, we will not let them lecture the American people about nutritional assistance when in their one big ugly bill, they cut $186 billion. These are Republicans this year, $186 billion from the Supplemental Nutritional Assistance Program. That's the largest SNAP cut in American history. And people ought to believe right now that Republicans actually care about hunger when they ripped food away from the mouths of hungry children, seniors, families, women, and veterans to provide massive tax breaks to their billionaire donors. Get lost with that in terms of Republican spin. The American people are not buying it. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.